Hey, gonna start something new today. Yeah, finally gonna get to do the first project on this one. So this is a 74 Corvette Stingray, and I'll show you what we got to do. Now this is something I've never done before, so it'll be we'll both learn. This seat is supposed to be in line with that one, but what has happened is the seats have been recovered with brand new seat covers before I got the car, but yet this bar, part of the frame down in here, is broken, and the adjusters have skipped and missed it, and in the process it has tore the seat cover right there too. So what we have to do is we're going to take the seat out, disassemble it. We're going to uncover the bottom part and try to weld the seat frame. Now that's something I've never done upholstery, so well, I figure if I can't get it done, I can take it to somebody and they can fix it. There are 4 bolts, one on each corner, one here. There's one, I don't know if you can see it or not, but one there. Then we'll move the seat forward and get 2 that are behind the seat. Take your T-top out. Makes it a lot easier to lift that out. Well, with it sitting up, you can see just how far off these are setting. So that's our big problem. So first I got to take the runners off, then I got to take the seat back off, which should be just 2 bolts, one on each side. 2 bolts on each runner on each side. Alright, that was pretty simple. Takes a big screwdriver. What is that, a number 3 screwdriver? And that's the bolts that go through the side. Don't lose your bushings. That's what helps to keep it centered. Now you see this in here is, well, but to look at that a little closer once we get the cover off of it. But anyway, so there's that, and we're not going to mess that up at all. Alright, the runners, there's a bolt here, and then you slide the runner forward, there's another bolt there. And that side's the same, but the way you move, you've got to operate this here to move it back and forth. Now that side's real stiff. We'll have to clean it and lubricate it real well when we've got it off. Alright, this one here, these are the 2 bolts. They are, oh, what size is that? 3/8. Anyway, this runner just unbolts. It's not too bad. This one, I've got it unbolted, but this loop that it goes through, you look, there's a couple of screws down in here. Now that chrome knob should twist off. If you can't get this piece off, you can twist that off. I would say wrap it with a piece of rubber or something before you put any channel locks or anything like that on it, because you'll skin that chrome up. I'm just going to take these screws off right here. It looks like they may need to come off anyway. That's all there is to that. It had to be cleaned up a little bit. Now we got to figure out how to get the seat cover off. It shouldn't be too hard. Alright. We've got these little clips that just pry up. All the way around. So we'll just go all the way around doing that. Well, before we get too far, just realized we got to take these two bolts off. This is supposed to hook to the back of the seat to be like a safety latch so that the seat doesn't go flying forward. But that cable's been broken a long time ago. And then we have to pull these two stops out. And then we'll be able to peel off the seat cover. Alright, I have found things we're trying to pull apart. So, I separated the cushion and everything. I want to show you something though. I don't believe this seat frame was put together correctly. See these rings? These are what was on the original seat cover. This is what held the original seat cover on. They're called hog rings. Now, the center part where the pleat is at on this seat, right here, this piece, from what I understand, is supposed to go in this groove and be hog ringed back onto the seat frame through the foam. And if the old frame is any indication, that's the right way it's supposed to be done. This one was not. I'm not so sure exactly what this one was done. They did put some pins through here, but they never did attach them to the seat frame the way they're supposed to. I don't know. We'll try to do better putting it back together. So now, you see all this right here, that's supposed to be pretty straight, I think. But it's cracked pretty bad here. And it was sort of repaired up in there. But this side here is where the brake is at. So we're going to have to fix this and probably straighten this side out to where it looks like that. Well, we got a little bit of work to do. Alright, I got it pretty straight. I think this here's supposed to have a little bit more of a up angle to it. Either that or this is supposed to be flatter, one or the other. Anyway, now we've got to clean this up. And this is what I'm using to do it. Alright, so cleaned it up, welded it up. Now before anybody says anything about my welding, I am no welder. I've never claimed to be a welder. But, you know, that'll hold till the cows come home, I'm sure. Come on, focus. It's ugly, but it's solid. I went ahead and made this over here a little bit more solid too. So now we're about ready to put the cover back on it, I do believe. Well, I'm going to wire brush it up a little bit and try to put some paint on it, try to stop some of the rust that's on it. Alright. I thought I had enough black, but I didn't. So, this is a hammered silver that I had on the shelf in the garage, so I'm using it. So that's done. I had just enough paint to paint this little piece, this one, and this one. And it fell on the ground, so that's grass, but it's going to be up in there anyway. But anyway, I'm ready to start putting it back together now. Alright, the first thing is the frame. It's got to go in. So I've set it in. I went ahead and put these bolts on the side that hold the back of the seat on, just to help hold the thing in place so that everything lines up when it's all done. I'm going to start clipping it together up here at the front. It's just a matter of turning it over and pushing it on. Just like that. And now I'm going to go all the way around and I'll finish up on the back end back here. Alright, now that all that's together, flip it over and we're going to go ahead and put these bumpers in and this piece that goes right here. Alright, so I went ahead and pulled the little tab that was still on this off, but I've still put it all back in there because it needs a spacer. It needs this bar to be a spacer under here. Got these on good and tight, and now I'm ready to put the slides back on it. So we got to take this off because there's a bracket that goes there. We greased these up real good, but I did not do any cleaning up on them. They stay well up underneath the seat anyway, so nobody will ever see them. So this one,
If he was going to get the exact amount that he asked for, didn't seem like he was, and he found out that he wasn't. The baker was buying butter from me. I was buying a pound of bread from him. And so when I started selling it every night, there I'm Teresa.
they're not lining up either. So I took the back off the seat, and if you see here, there's a few bolts right up in here. I'm going to see if I cannot adjust this. I'm thinking there should be probably 2 bolts on each side. We'll see. Alright, let me show you what I had to do. I had to separate it right here. This screw, pulled the screw out, and slotted the hole. Now, still not perfect, but you know what? That's a whole lot better than what it was. I can live with that. So now all I gotta do is put the back on. Alrighty. It is ready to put back in.
Encouragement starts here.
Eventually I'm gonna have to get some more of these little rubber feet. But alright, it's ready to go back in the car. Alright, it's a couple days later. It is in. It's adjusted just the way the other seat is, so it looks right. I rode in it yesterday and it rides real comfortable on this side. Alright, couple days after the fact, after I've done the job, it is done. I need to tell you a couple things. Number one, I don't claim to be a professional. So anything you see me do, just like this seat or anything else that I do, you're not going to find it done the way a shop will do it, because I'm not a professional. This job, I've never done this before in my life. So this particular job, you and I were both learning on it. The next thing is, I did mention in the video where I said that I was going to use the hog rings and try to put the seat down the way I thought it was supposed to be done. I did not do that because after looking at it a lot closer, I realized that whoever put it on used a lot of glue and glued the pad down to the cover down to the pad, and I didn't want to have to separate all that, and it was working really well the way it was. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Anyway, like I say, it's not a perfect job. It's not nothing I ever do. You'll see it being perfect, but it will be. It'll have to do as well as it's as good as I can get it to go. Anyway, I hope it's been a help to you, and as always, it's nothing but nuts and bolts, and God bless. We'll see you on the next one.